At the height of the Cold War, the world witnessed two countries competing in almost every field, but space became the ultimate stage for displaying each other's technological mastery. The Soviet Union and the United States clashed, with the Soviet Union being the first to place an artificial satellite in Earth orbit and the United States responding by putting the first man on the moon. However, after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, the United States made significant progress in space exploration. Today, the United States has the largest space exploration agency in the world, with an annual budget of $32 billion. No other space organization compares to what the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, represents for the country. However, there is one competitor that is changing the game, nay, the rules of the game when it comes to space exploration. That competitor is China, which is rapidly catching up with the United States and in some cases even overtaking them. Welcome to CZ Science. It's time to unravel, as China, which was far behind in the space race, has made significant progress. Just half a century ago, in 1970, China put its first satellite into orbit while facing the Cultural Revolution. For perspective, in 1970, NASA was already in the midst of developing the Voyager projects, which would launch over the next 7 years. But things have changed dramatically since then. Today, China has launched more than 200 rockets in the past 10 years, carried out an unmanned mission to the moon and has its own space station after being excluded from the International Space Station. Chinese state media Xinhua claims that at least 300,000 people have worked on China's space projects, nearly 18 times the number of NASA employees. Yes, the space race between the United States and China is about to take an exciting new turn as China prepares to challenge the James Webb Space Telescope and its fleet of small satellites as they venture into deep space. Chinese scientists are creating a fleet of small satellites to monitor high-energy, short-lived occurrences in deep space. The Chinese mission envisions more than 100 microsatellites, each equipped with a smaller, lighter version of a typical X-ray telescope. This technique contrasts with the current trend of building larger and larger telescopes that can look deeper into space and time. This fleet is called the Catch Transient Constellation Hunters and will be made up of hundreds of satellites. While that's all fascinating, China really surprised this time around, outperforming Elon Musk's SpaceX. The UK-2 rocket, developed by Chinese company Landspace, successfully reached orbit after being launched from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in the Gobi Desert. This represents a significant step forward for China in its space race. The US Space Force confirmed Chinese reports that the methane-powered rocket reached orbit. UK-2 has had a remarkable journey as it faced an anomaly during its maiden flight on December 14, 2022. The use of methane as fuel drew attention as, during launch, it burned a beautiful blue color and has been promoted by advocates as a more environmentally friendly option. Although methane is a greenhouse gas, it is cleaner than RP-1 or the kerosene used in many rockets. Many American companies are also working on methane-powered rockets, such as SpaceX with its Starship system, Blue Origin with the New Glenn rocket, Rocket Lab with the Neutron, United Launch Alliance with the Vulcan Centaur and Relativity Space with its Terran line. However, some of these vehicles have faced issues in recent months. For example, Terran 1 failed to reach orbit on its debut launch in March, and SpaceX had to issue a self-destruct command for Starship during its first fully stacked launch in April after several anomalies. SpaceX is developing the Starship to help with the colonization of Mars, and methane can be obtained on the Red Planet, as emphasized by the company's founder and CEO, Elon Musk. The launch of Vulcan Centaur was scheduled to take place in early May, but was delayed after an anomaly during tests of the rocket's upper stage. China and its private space exploration companies have been very active in terms of launches, carrying out 54 missions into orbit in 2022 and planning more than 60 in 2023. In comparison, SpaceX, which is by far the busiest American launch company, launched 61 rockets into space in 2022. While the global space community is excited about these advances, it is important to recognize China's significant contributions in the field of space exploration. The space race is becoming more and more exciting. While China is making big strides in space, the United States is way ahead of the game, for now. Recently, scientists have developed an incredible technology that will blow your mind, and who knows, maybe even the minds of aliens who may live on exoplanets or their moons. Just kidding. What scientists have developed is laser technology that can detect life on other planets. This incredible new technology could detect extraterrestrial life in outer space, speeding up the decades-long quest to find life on distant moons and planets. The research, supported by NASA and conducted at the University of Maryland, shows that laser technology can potentially identify signs of life and analyze materials from other planets. Geologists have praised this technology, noting that the advantage of the laser is that it can ionize anything, which means that if we were to direct the laser beam at a sample of ice, scientists would be able to characterize the composition of the ice and find biosignatures in it. And that's not all. This tool has such high resolution and mass accuracy that it makes any molecular or chemical structure in a sample much more identifiable. However, for this technology to work successfully on a spacecraft, it was necessary to reduce it from 400 pounds to just 17 pounds. This is because the original structure was designed for commercial use and was quite bulky, which would not have been feasible in space. After 8 years of developing the prototype, which is now significantly smaller and requires fewer resources but is still capable of performing cutting-edge science, this system is expected to detect and confirm the existence of alien life as indicated by complex compounds. Previously, scientists used different methods to identify life in our galaxy, such as looking for traces of methane or detecting radio energy. In addition, the James Webb Space Telescope, when examining alien worlds through spectroscopy, obtained surprising results. We can now discover a planet's exact chemical composition, as Webb's instruments have opened up the universe to us like never before. It's an incredible time for science. It's the pinnacle of humanity's achievement. And what do you have to say about it? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to CZ Science, because together we'll explore. Until next time.